Yeah.
And we're a little closer to the games coming out. Huh?
Hey,
Huh?
hey.
Hey.
All right.
Let's
Game
see
on.
if Game On. Let's see if Game On here. Game On. Let's go.
Hey.
So we were talking about Cyberpunk. But
Yeah, we were discussing Cyberpunk.
Because we were fixing the program last month.
So yeah, we're gonna show some footage that was shown to us last year. That's actually
Wait,
that's
that's
Star.
your
Starfield.
stuff. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Which we're gonna talk about later. I want to show you guys that. That's
Oh,
just
yeah.
so fun.
Can't find it.
Yeah, no, that's been a work in progress.
Yeah, it's definitely Well, I've got a long way to go, but it's
There we go.
that's what we're looking for.
That's the stuff.
All right.
All right. So this is what we're not going to be doing for a while.
Streets are bustling with crowds of people from all facets of life, all living their lives.
This looks so-
within a full day.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, like if they had this, like if they could show us
This is
this,
crazy.
you know?
Yeah.
I
Is this real though? Or I mean, I have to say I doubt them. But remember, like Watch Dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Well-
I mean, I remember Anthem.
Yeah. But who do you trust? I mean, going from
Yeah.
going
No, I
from
know
like
it's-
it's like playing The Witcher and knowing like how much attention to detail they have. The fact that they're just scaling it and applying it to this and like, I don't know, man. I trust them. I really just I
trust
mean,
them too.
I know it's almost cliched, like CD Projekt Red good, you know, and like EA
Yeah.
bad, but like, man,
They wanna hold on to that,
Yeah.
and they're making this decision kind of supports that. Mm-hmm. So
I mean, it's true. And if that's the theme of what we're doing in a new decade, is actually thinking about shit and taking our time to make it great instead of rushing it, and
yeah.
we're more deliberate in our actions and thoughts this decade all the way around. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm good with it.
Well,
It'll
now,
lead
I
to
guess-
things being better, but
the caveat is though this is inevitably creating like a crunch culture though in the game industry where now they've got this like 6 months or like whatever amount of time where they've got to like push and
Right.
try and get shit done. I don't know. It's unfortunate that the game industry has that inherently in it where you've got to like finish this project before it gets out.
I mean, video games are very complex.
Yeah,
You know, they
absolutely.
just-
No. But
they require a lot of
100%.
firepower, manpower.
Yeah, it's just the compared to like a lot of other industries, there's so many more complications like with your product. You know, like when you're making a movie,
Yeah.
like you've got your footage, and like you edit it, or like when you're making music, like the amount of components, like it's absolutely complex. But like a video game, like the amount of logic and the amount of art and the confluence of technology and art going into it. It's amazing that we can create these things in the first place. But yeah, like when they're pushing the boundaries this far, it's gonna take time.
this
Yeah.
Yeah,
it looked. Oh my god! Not to complain or anything. I'm just like, this is amazing. How,
I'm saying, yeah.
oh, God. And part of me, like, you know, I said some ridiculous shit earlier though. I'm like, what if they delayed it to try to optimize it for Google Stadia?
Oh,
What if this is the Stadia effect? The
yeah,
first time we see it, it's so shitty that developers have to take extra time, like an extra 6 months just to make it work for that shit.
Well,
I
don't
mean, that
know.
would
I doubt
certainly.
that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just being
exactly. That,
ridiculous.
that would certainly
But
suck.
Google
But
Stadia sucks.
well, that's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Does it
that's
suck that
100%.
bad?
that's the thing. It sucks so bad that this is like above that. You know, Cyberpunk being one of those first games to try and experiment to benefit Google in their endeavors with this business model that they have presented. I mean, it's below them. I mean, it's motherfucking Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
It's CD Projekt Red. Like,
Shouldn't be able to just stream this shit to anything. I don't want to see this shit on a fucking phone. Like,
well, I mean, it's
Yeah.
like
hell?
Yeah, no.
I don't
I
mind.
want to smack that phone out of somebody's hand. Like, what are you doing? Putting Cyberpunk? I'm like, fuck, you're not. You're doing it wrong.
I have zero problem with internet coverage getting to that point capably, but as far as like the experience and the immersion and all of that, I totally agree. It's like, you know, you want to play that on a big screen with some surround sound on a computer, like, you know, with the best specs that you can get. You don't want to play this on PlayStation 4
Yeah.
or base Xbox One like the VCR or something. Like,
And if
not to say it's poorly optimized, I just think that it's like, you know, if this comes out on PS5 and Xbox Series X, like, that's going to be probably the ideal way for console gamers to play it.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a great. I mean, if you want the best experience, obviously what we're talking about is the best scenario.
Yeah.
And also on top of that, if your machine can do 4K and your screen can do 4K, I shouldn't have to pay you to see no goddamn 4K.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I already paid for that shit.
Yeah.
That's just is what it is. So, yeah. It's kind of surprising. I mean, I guess it's not. It's a platform. You're gonna put it on all major platforms. It's crazy we're calling Stadia a major platform already, though.
I wouldn't say that.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't
it's being
call. I mean,
considered
it's
like that,
yeah,
though.
it is, but I feel like it's already been such a big flop. I mean, the critical reception to it's been
The number
awful.
of players, like
Yeah.
I've heard some stories about like the low number of Destiny 2
Yeah.
players versus
Yeah.
like other platforms like Steam or whatever, and it's just like hilarious.
Now, the one cool thing with it, and it's through Destiny specifically, is I've seen some Destiny players trying to get together and see if they can play a raid on like random devices, like a smart fridge and like I don't know, like whatever you can like try and stream Stadia through. That's not like an actual like
no.
Tesla,
peripheral you would
fridge.
expect. Yeah, like whatever oddball device you
Oh
can try
my
and get Stadia to
goodness.
run on. They want to try and do a raid. And they're still like people are posting them about it on the subreddit, and I don't think it's happened yet,
funny.
but when it happens, I'll report on it.
I love,
Please do.
I love this kind of
Yeah.
creativity and ingenuity. Just
If that's the only good thing that comes out of Stadia, it'll be worth it, I guess, in my opinion at this point. But it's such a waste of time. I mean, like I don't know. I don't think like developers are taking it seriously, so we'll see where it goes. I think that there's a potential for that tech in the future, like you said.
What worries me is that they're really pushing it in the marketing. Like they're very heavily trying to get it out there and make it aware on a casual consumer basis, where it's like it's. I've got some friends of mine or like family members of mine. They're asking me, so what's up with Google Stadia?
Oh,
And
yeah.
I just laugh.
Yeah.
You can't help but just
Yeah,
laugh.
yeah. No, but I feel like that's the thing is like, yeah, maybe some people will be like, suckered into it, but I feel like most informed consumers just, no, like it sucks. Like,
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
Fucking,
if it was like a good old games type of thing, you know what I mean, where you could like your parents could play Dr. Mario or some shit they might have played back in the day. You know what I mean, like something like that, all the way up into like some more modern type games, but not to be marketed as a competition or direct competition for what we have in the consoles and PC world right now. That seems that's to me like it. If you're gonna have Stadia right now, the technology, like you said, has a future. I think beyond what Stadia can be right now.
Yeah.
But if it found its own niche, however you say that freaking word, if it found its own space to occupy, then I can see it being a thing that's worthwhile for more people. But as it stands now, it's like, what's the point when there's so many alternatives? And we have things like Nintendo Switches you can take on the go, even if it's not connected. You're still playing what you want to play portably.
Well, I mean, you got Microsoft doing the whole xCloud deal or whatever. I don't really know too much about it, but I mean, that's something that has apparently been something they're doing that isn't as ridiculous of a business model from what I can understand. But I mean, they're doing good with the Game Pass, and honestly,
They are.
Yeah,
you guys been
killing it.
hearing about some of these rumors that have been going around with like, and that's the thing. Like now that we're in 2020, we are going to be probably getting a lot of rumors.
This is the fun part of the year because like stuff's like gets planned in the beginning of the year and starts rolling out like in the you get leaks and rumors.
Exactly. Now, I mean, it's one thing to. I mean, we looked back on 2019 and all, but I mean, this is kind of the end of a generation, and as far as like
It's the last year of it.
And I mean, sure, the Switch came out, but it was like that was more Nintendo just kind of making up for lost ground with the Wii U and like.
Dude, but they scored such a hit.
Oh, absolutely,
I mean,
and I'm glad they did, and I think that score, that hit came from the failure of the Wii U. And,
no, they wouldn't have gotten there without trying that.
No,
and
exactly.
That's why I've always respected Nintendo for that. Even when they came out with the Wii U, I was like, it's not for me. I see what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But like, But now, dude, they fucking nailed it.
Turn your stumbles into wins, man. That's like the ultimate victory. You know what I mean? Like you get a misstep, that misstep just catapulted you. You found something in that misstep. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's like you learn it from your mistakes. That's the ultimate right there, man. You gotta give crazy credit to him for that because the Wii U was getting clowned.
Oh, that was.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go on about the Wii U. I'm not going to. But yeah, no, it's like this is the real end of the generation coming up here, and so we're getting to hear some, things about specs and where Microsoft and Sony are both individually trying to take things, and Microsoft is they're interesting, and I mean it's like they're trying to do their own thing in the same way that Nintendo does their own thing, sort of, but it's like they're trying to the rumor is that this Xbox Series X and the games that come out for it initially are going to also be games that come out for the Xbox One and the One S.
It's for like at least a year or something, right?
Yeah, exactly, and that kind of sounds familiar, right? We had like Dragon Age Inquisition and Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor and other games that kind of made the line a little fuzzier. Grand Theft Auto 5, I would say, I guess.
That was an interesting one.
Last of Us.
Well, Grand Theft Auto 5, it straddled the generations so well.
That's exactly what I was doing. I was like, straddle the mic.
because it came into the end of the 360 and PS3 era, and then they released the enhanced edition on the next gen consoles, or current gen now, or old gen now, I guess.
Both
right?
Both games did that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then it came out on PC, and then, but it's interesting. This is going to be such a big leap, and I'm excited because we're coming a long way from the previous gen. Like the PS4 and Xbox One are based on like AMD Jaguar processors, which is just so inefficient. Like, dude, you guys have no idea. These new CPUs are just gonna be so killer. Like, it's gonna be such a big leap for consoles.
That's exciting.
Really catching up and like being able to like push things further. Yeah. And it's just not gonna hold back development at all.
Console right now.
Well, no, like I'm not talking about like buying and getting.
I know you're not. I know you're not. But just like, bro, like, this is a moment for me with like. Yeah. I see this kind of enthusiasm and movement over PC stuff and like.
Well,
and you're like talking about what consoles are doing. That shows you like this next generation. If you're doing this now, this next generation
it raises the lowest common denominator.
Exactly.
Okay,
it just moves everything forward.
Yeah, you got if a game is being developed for PC and console, like sometimes it's gonna be you're gonna make sure you can hit that console level first, before you go higher. But I mean, it all depends on your development and what kind of game it is. But
it's okay to be excited, bro.
No, I'm just trying to quantify and like because I wanted to improve gaming. I'm not like excited about buying a console necessarily, like I'm excited about like it improving the quality of games because now it's like now when you develop a game for a console, like an Elder Scrolls game, like Starfield, I'm assuming they're not going to develop it for like current gen, it's only going to be on the next gen, and they're going to take advantage of like the stuff that's required to flesh that out more. I
feel that. I'll definitely be getting a PS5. I know that. Probably won't be getting the Xbox because I feel like that's what my PC already is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and what something I was going to say, and I'll be brief. I feel like aside from the hardware, it's developing into a service-based competitive market. Like what are you getting in that ecosystem? As opposed to just like, oh, my Xbox is better than your PS4 or like whatever. My Xbox One S is just as good as the PS4 Pro or like, whatever angle you want to look at it. It's just, like with PlayStation, you can get like the PS Plus and you get the games. Microsoft, they're going with the Game Pass now, and that's amazing for PC and Xbox. So I feel like if you have both, you've got some good crossover, and I don't know.
Yeah, that Ultimate Game Pass, if you have both, is actually worth it because there's all that whole Xbox library, the old games. Yeah. That's a vast library on the console. I'm kind of jealous of it only being on the PC side, but.
Do you guys know how much a month it is for the Ultimate?
15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like a Hulu commercial free. That's not bad.
Yeah,
to be able to just play as many games as you want in that vast library.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
And that's cool. And I mean, that's something they're doing that's unique. And then even on PlayStation 2, they got the VR side so if you're trying to pick an ecosystem that differentiates them.
Killer for me. Like I'm really excited to see what they do. Now, okay, so my roommate, who I'll give him a shout out. Also, he's letting us borrow this camera and use his camera equipment. Dan Felska. Visit filmoffen.com for all of your video and film needs.
Thank you.
he's a big Sony fan. We're filming on shooting on a Sony camera right now. And he might have been talking with somebody who works at Sony. You know, like my uncle works in Nintendo, but he's talking to the guy who works at Sony. And the rumor that I've heard, at least through this pipeline, is that there's no plan for like a immediate release of a new VR headset, but the PS5 will support the current gen PSVR.
Okay.
So that going into it, is a good sign. I'm glad PlayStation is committed to VR. Because they've got a hit. They've recently announced they've got 5 million headsets sold.
They broke 5 million.
Yeah, they broke 5 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's big. That was a while ago, but
yeah.
That's a big deal.
That's huge. That's bigger than it's like almost.
I
want to say it's bigger than all of PC VR combined. Yeah. Like all the headsets. I gotta look at. I don't know what this.
At this rate, give Index enough time, and we'll see.
I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. Yeah. That costs $200 sometimes.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's literally an $800 difference.
Yeah.
Oh,
you need a PC that's as expensive as the Index to be able to run it well.
10 times as expensive.
Well, and that's really the thing. PlayStation 4, you can find a PS4 for like $200 now.
You can get a combo. You could get a PSVR combo for like $500-600. I feel like I've seen some.
I bet it's cheaper than that too. Sometimes. I mean, you can go on OfferUp. I bet get you some. Not to get used to it.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I'm just saying maybe Half-Life is just going to bring consumer debt up a bit.
Yeah. Oh well, speaking of which, I mean, I was saying earlier, dude, all the Valve Index headset is sold out in all regions right now.
Yeah,
except for like Japan and a couple of things, but yeah,
that's awesome.
Talk about a leap we're seeing. Like VR is taking that leap right now. This is awesome. Like VR to me, like if it was an athlete, it's like in its third season, and if the game slowed down, it's like, oh, I fucking get this shit. I got this. Yeah. And now we're starting to see it take strides, and it's just dunking on people.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I got Half-Life. No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, 2010s as a decade was great for VR, but that was just the beginning, I think. We're just getting a snowball effect here, and it's only going to get better and better and better, and it's very exciting to be a part of that.
Not too far in the near future, the Rift and the PSVR and all this, they're not like Model T Fords. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what? People used to drive that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. But their minds were fucking blown when they were driving them Model Ts. Like, can you fucking believe it?
Right? Yeah.
This is fucking incredible.
Yeah, we're not riding horses anymore.
Nope.
Speaking of VR and new VR stuff, there's the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners game that is coming out soon. That actually looks very exciting. We got some trailer footage here. And
that looks surprisingly good. I did not know about this game at all until you mentioned it, and it's coming out pretty soon. And it looks pretty good.
Next week, and for like a IP like Walking Dead,
no, Skydance
doesn't look like a shit cash grab.
Isn't Skydance normally a film studio?
There's a lot of I think there's a lot of film studios are invested in VR.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. The one we watched, we don't have it for the show, but the Westworld one we watched beforehand. Yeah. Another thing, Which, how awesome is that? If you do it right, like companion experiences for shows and movies.
Do you kill from afar?
Yeah, this looks like
that's like some Boneworks looking shit.
Yeah, it reminds me of Robo Recall as well, to be honest. But like obviously a more zombified, a little more grounded.
It looks like it's made in Unreal.
Yeah.
It's fun getting to know like the VR or rather like Unreal and Unity engines, like playing the games. Because I can tell now, like playing them or seeing them, like there's just like certain like tools or like graphics settings and shaders and effects.
There was no preventing her ex-husband. Do it already.
I like this though. It's got choice, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a tense situation. I feel like you got. It's not just like kill the zombies, and like get like a cool gun.
It's kind of like. It's like even with the Telltale games, you had those key choices as a character that you're playing through the game that that it's going to affect the story, and they're trying to bring that kind of appeal back into this game. It seems, but it's with VR, it's like it's a little different because you're not just pressing square or circle to choose option A or option B. You're actually like acting it out in a three-dimensional space, and there's something interesting about that.
There's more ownership of your actions.
Yeah.
Like there's not enough like good story games that like integrate in VR in a visceral way. Like, have you guys all played Lone Echo?
I played a lot of it.
Okay,
It started tripping out when remember when I tipped my PC over and we had to reseat it.
Yeah,
like when I, in that whole time, like before I got things all passed, it started running funky. I haven't played it since.
Okay.
But I'm sure it's fine now.
But
I got far enough into it to know what you mean.
Okay. I don't know. That game has some moments where it's just it's visceral and like emotional on like an experiential level, like and you're a robot in that game. But like there's not enough of that in VR, and I'm excited for stuff where like that feels like a tough choice. I don't know what the dilemma is, but like that guy's telling you kill that dude, and it seems like you gotta like what do you do?
He's not just telling you, he's fucking do it, just screaming at you, bro, and you know you hear it spatially, so it's gonna be over here. You got homie pleading for his life over here. That's fucking great. That's fucking great, man.
I'd like a Mass Effect game in VR.
Ooh,
yeah, dude.
Rebirth.
I want that.
That would be fun.
Speaking of space games, let me show you guys some stuff.
A little something up here.
I've been playing a shit ton of Star Citizen recently. Got some friends that have been playing it, and I'm with a cool org, and we're doing a lot of fun stuff. But this was last night. We were just screwing around on one of the new planets. Game's all in alpha. A lot of work to be done. A lot of strong opinions on it, but this is us
there's a door in the center bottom of it.
going through. We're just going to fly around on some dragonflies on Microtech, which is one of the new planets.
Get on that and then hit that panel.
I'm going through my friend's ship. This is a Caterpillar. It's a big cargo ship.
Deploy? No, retract.
And that's my buddy.
Was that like a little bio area, or was that like outside?
That was outside, yeah. So like I think the elevator,
okay.
elevator was shown on the ground. So we've got all these dragonflies that he spawned up.
Down this way,
They're little like speeder bikes, like just like Star Wars speeder bikes almost.
So there's
I didn't
one.
mean to get that. But this planet's really cool. It's like a wintry planet.
3.
I'm picking up this last one here once we hop on.
That looked pretty dope.
Yeah.
So, what's Star Citizen's current like state in as far as its progress towards towards a real release?
Yeah. I don't know what their
Black one, and they can
like finish line looks like, so to speak, but they have a roadmap that they're working on.
Okay.
As at this point, what we have as players is a playable universe with it's a star system, a single star system with like several planets and a bunch of moons and like asteroid fields and stations in between.
Nice.
And there's a bunch of gameplay loops that you can do, like different missions, like delivery missions, different cargo stuff. You can like buy and sell cargo. Bounty hunting missions, mercenary stuff. Mining is a lot of fun. We've been doing a lot of mining recently because there's a cool new mining ship.
or the left side of it. Sorry.
The only issue is there's not persistence right now. They do wipe during updates, so like every big update they wipe progress. So it's like right now there's no persistence, but they're working to a point now. They're saying they're at a point where they can kind of choose if they need to wipe or not.
Okay.
So it's getting to the where there may be progress or like real progress you can keep.
This looks like you're driving a Ghost in Halo.
Yeah. And I'm flying with this with my HOTAS too.
Oh, you serious?
Yeah. Oh, it's the best game with the HOTAS. Yeah.
Oh,
or one of the. I mean, it's so much fun.
So can you go from your controller, your HOTAS with like black?
Yeah. Or well, yeah. I think you can do both. Yeah.
I want games to just have that option.
Yeah.
Man. That's so dope. Like if Grand Theft Auto would let you have a steering wheel, then a HOTAS, then a controller, I would never play anything else. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. But you can see, I mean, like the game looks beautiful. It's right now we're just kind of fucking around, and it just takes us some time to. Everybody's getting together and like coming. They landed their ships. They're getting on the ship, getting their bikes. and then we go for a ride.
Getting their chips
Fucking
and soda.
Intergalactic biker gang. Let's go.
There you go.
It's a big black square that's kind of right on the door.
But yeah, we had a bunch of issues getting together or getting all the bikes in there. We tried fitting them into my ship.
Go back faster, Rational,
but
before you flip.
Not quite as big as this ship. Yeah, this one has like a room for each bike. We were trying to fit like all those bikes in like the size of like maybe 2 of those.
Oh wow. That ship is massive. It's gonna be crazy to fly that thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, it has guns on it. I forgot.
Yeah, these things.
Those are ghosts, man.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh my god, you see how far those go?
They're, gosh, they remind me kind of like speed bikes from Star Wars.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's fun.
Oh my god, these things are fun, bro.
Yeah. So we just start going wild now. We just fly around. And this is we were just kind of exploring, having fun. We weren't doing any missions or anything. Just kind of like.
So you hit I to turn on the engine. There you go.
You mean I hit ignition?
That was more for Deneb. She was still on there. There you go.
But yeah, voice attack works with this game too, so I got to get that shit integrated.
Oh, word?
Don't shoot.
Yeah.
But if
Man,
you
voice
point it
attack is
somewhere
cool as
else, you
fuck.
can shoot the guns.
So what did you guys end up doing on this little outing?
We just kept flying,
find
and
anything?
it turned into nighttime. No, nothing interesting. This planet's not finished right now, so there's not any like points of interest really.
For sure.
It's just scenic. You can mine on it,
If you hit a fucking
but there's no like outposts or anything.
Gosh.
Or caves. There are like caves you can go and explore and do like mining in first person. There's also like ship mining you can do.
I don't even
Do
know
like bigger rocks.
following somebody right now. No, it's one of the yellow.
But yeah, we just kept flying around. It turned nighttime. We got some
Nice.
cool screenshots at like sunset, and
Very
then
cool.
I ended up crashing and dying, like respawning.
Careful on them bikes, man.
Right? Bunch of rocks everywhere.
Yeah,
This is crazy, man.
Yeah, it looks pretty wild.
yeah.
How far do you think it's gonna be before we see a finished product on this thing?
So you've got 2 components. You got Star Citizen, the MMO open world or like like multiplayer game, and then you've got Squadron 42, which is gonna be the single player mission game.
Oh, dope.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they're like.
There's supposed to be a beta for Squadron 42 this year.
So are the cyclones.
Not so sure on that. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, like they delay shit all the time, so delay cast.
Yeah,
Star Citizen is like
it's
the
just-
like
the
ultimately
delay
just
cast.
delayed. Yeah.
Yep.
We gotta be careful what we talk about tonight.
Yeah.
So to not touch anything we haven't touched on that's still on time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that we're done with delays this year?
Hopefully
Hell
for the
no.
big ones. Yeah, I think we're done with the big ones.
That we know of. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we'll probably see something get announced, and then because I kind of feel like this is a new marketing tool. You're gonna announce a release date that's ambitious as hell.
That's what I've been
and
kind
then
of
they're kind of just gonna push it back because everyone's gonna be like, "Oh shit, that's like in 2
Exactly.
weeks."
Kind of playing like the, just the tease trick, like you put the snack 5 feet away from the dog and then they get close and you just yank it away a little bit. No, not quite yet.
Yeah, it makes you want it more.
Yeah.
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 Builds
So,
up, I mean, it really does build up more like press
Yeah,
and word of
absolutely.
mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's tough. I guess the issue you just got to make sure if you're a publicly traded company, if you got shareholders or a board, that you got to release your product in time, right? I feel like those are those limits.
exactly. You got to meet
Right.
you got to do what you can before the end of the fiscal year.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah,
I
yeah.
hate that. Term. I've never, even when I didn't know what it meant, when I just
Fiscal.
heard fiscal
Yeah.
year, I was like,
Yeah.
so we have a different year for money? What the fuck is this? Like, I thought a year was a year.
I mean,
Anyway,
it's just 3 months off is all.
just 3. Just a quarter of a year different.
It's
Yeah.
It's a fiscal year.
I mean, yeah. Is
So I'm
what
gonna
it
start
is.
telling like my job.
Yeah.
It's like, this is
So I mean,
my fiscal year.
you guys think Halo's
Fiscal
still
leap
coming
year.
out this year? You think Cyberpunk's still coming out this year?
Did they say Halo was coming out?
well-
They have said that Halo is going to launch with the new Xbox,
Oh,
which is
Infinite.
slated for
They said it was a
for
launch
holiday.
title?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. and they said it's going to be for holiday this year. So
I would honestly, I feel like I would hold them to it because it's a big
That's
launch.
Halo,
That's a
man.
big launch.
it's Halo, man.
You don't fuck around with
Yeah.
Halo.
You don't want to mess up Halo.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
No,
I agree.
yeah,
I
that's
agree.
Like having that target, like
Yeah.
holiday 2020. I feel like they've been working on that since like 2012. You know,
I mean,
like we're figuring that out. I don't know.
it would explain why Halo 5 was like such
They
garbage.
took the A team. They pulled the fucking Mass Effect and Anthem. Pulled the A team off.
Yeah.
You guys go work on Halo 6. Fuck 5.
But-
what?
But I mean, Halo 1, you were saying, was starting in February, getting to that point where
you
what was
gotta
the word
flash
you
that.
used? Kevin, for Halo 1.
Oh yeah. So next month, February, they're gonna start flight tests for the
Flight tests.
Master Chief Collection on PC for
Halo Combat
CE.
Evolved.
Yeah, baby.
man.
That's what I'm talking about.
With the
That's-
online.
I'm
Alright, I
waiting.
thought you were throwing a dap, so I ain't gonna stay hanging.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
throw
yeah.
in this
Boom.
way because it's
Yeah,
Halo.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm
This is
excited.
neat. I know.
I'm excited.
Yeah, a little. Oh yeah.
Recognize.
That's the most Kevin shit ever.
That's funny.
Super bulky, but it's like, I love it.
Did you see the new Star Wars?
No, haven't seen it yet.
Did you watch? You watched Mandalorian, right?
Yeah, we're watching The Mandalorian.
And you
Finished all
finished
that.
the first season.
Yeah.
Did you finish the first season?
Yeah.
Oh man, good stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Much quite
IG,
enjoyable.
bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even I didn't watch the movie either.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
The Star Wars new movie.
Oh no, me either. I've
Yeah.
seen the new. I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting till I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
feel like
ready
now,
yet.
like now's the time. Maybe I'll go like this week or something. Like
Yeah, I
now-
mean,
now
maybe.
that everybody's already seen it.
Yeah.
I hate going to like anything that's PG-13 or under, like on.
And
the
you got the
opening
crying
couple
babies
weeks.
for
Yeah.
like the first,
Like all
however
12-year-olds. I want to go like during the daytime. You know, like
long. On a
when nobody's
weekday
there.
during
Yeah.
a school day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 That's the best time to see movies.
agree.
I like watching movies with no disruption.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna wait until it's on Disney Plus.
I was thinking the same thing.
You know,
I'm
it might
probably
not be a bad
holding
idea.
off.
I canceled my Disney Plus now that Mandalorian's done. So I'll wait for the next thing. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, they're gonna do
piggyback
another.
on
I mean,
Disney Plus.
they're doing another season of Mandalorian though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but-
you can just pick it up back, when that comes out if you decide to. Yeah, no, I mean there isn't. I'm piggybacking off of someone's account, so
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same. I'm
So-
happy about it.
it means I get to, when this movie comes out on Disney Plus, I get to watch it without giving Disney money.
Yeah.
So I'm content.
And even saying that, I don't know if I'm even gonna watch it right away when it hits Disney
Yeah.
Plus. I still haven't watched The Last Jedi, and I've been able
Yeah,
to for a while.
I can understand why you're not in a hurry.
That's all the kind of stuff I keep hearing. It's like, what am I excited about to see this fucking movie?
Oh,
I have
man.
good Star Wars memories, at least a few left. Let's not
Let's
Yeah.
not.
keep those here.
Let's not. All right, so I will say this much. As far as 2020 is concerned, I do think, I've kind of let myself hope that maybe Breath of the Wild 2, the sequel to that would, at E3 get like a big reveal and then have that final title drop and release date of like November 18th or some shit, and then have it like, just come out this year and be like the big holiday title to compete with Halo and Xbox and Microsoft and Sony and all that. But, I'm starting to think, I've Breath of the Wild is supposed to come out in like 2015 initially. So I think so,
I don't know,
yeah.
man. I'm gonna let them take their time with that. I feel like
Yeah.
they've got the template down
Yeah.
with Breath of the Wild. I mean, they brought it to that next level that Zelda needed to go to, and I feel like now they let them experiment and
Exactly.
even if they're doing kind of like a Majora's Mask kind of thing where they like reuse the assets.
I would love.
cool
I
with
mean,
that.
like,
I
I'm
love
cool
that.
with that. Yeah.
because Majora's Mask was amazing.
Majora's Mask was awesome.
Like, so
oh
again,
my
do it
god,
again.
that
Do
was
it
a
again.
wonderful game.
I want that for the Switch, like
Yeah,
Breath of the
definitely.
Wild, Majora's Mask too.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks
Redux.
like. I mean,
Breath
that
of the
trailer,
Wild,
like
Majora's
showing off, like, oh man, No, I'm really excited for that game, and then I have to. If it doesn't come out this year, then I actually don't really mind because I've waited for plenty of Zelda games. I mean, you know, the thing is, Breath of the Wild just actually, you know, was worth the wait. Unlike Skyward Sword, unlike Twilight Princess.
I don't know. Zelda for me, the games are just so perennial. I don't have like an association with them in time where like I anticipate them. Like obviously I get excited for them. Like Breath of the Wild came out, I was like I want to play that so bad.
Yeah.
But like they're always there, and like I don't know. There's no other game that like occupies a space in my brain like Zelda. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like it's probably because Zelda was like one of the first video games I ever played and like got like interested, like not just like okay, Pac-Man, I get it, like you know, or like you know, Space Invaders. Like Zelda was like, oh, I'm chopping these bushes and getting coins and like breaking pots and like I got like a new item. Yeah. Boomerang. You know, like I don't know, that shit just like.
Dude, I remember going to the homie's house to see like we pulled up his save and he had a blue tunic on. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
It was like it's just it had mystery. That was before like I knew about strategy guys or anything like that. So everything was just like true discovery. Yeah. Which to me, I think is something that I hope comes back in video games, even though it's kind of impossible with the internet because you just can find
everything's
just
right. Well, I mean, it's like it's nowadays it's about kind of just keeping yourself away from where the information wants to be thrown at you. So it's like, you know, you're playing a game fresh, like, I mean, I stayed the hell away from any Sekiro Shadows Die Twice stuff. Like once, especially once that donkey video.
Yeah, gosh, that was a lie.
I really wish I hadn't watched that before playing the game through, and I am definitely gonna try and avoid doing that for any From Software titles from now on because they really like to play that gotcha moment. Yes. And it's just like
nobody can do it like that.
No one does it like them. Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like this was there was a video that said this was the Dark Souls of decades, the 2010s, and it was just like I mean, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, and Sekiro all came out in the 2010s, and they were crazy. For me, they were kind of like the bar for quality in a lot of what I was looking for. But
no doubt.
I mean, I don't know.
They brought hard games back, man.
They did.
They really did. Single-handedly. I mean, like there's tons of different types of difficulty, but as far as like that classic feeling of like replaying the game to get better at it, like you go back to like platformers, you know, like you have to keep going through those fucking series of jumps until you figure out the technique of jumping the right way to get across that specific obstacle. Dark Souls had that same appeal where like you got to learn how to like dodge against that kind of enemy and like parry at the right time or whatever.
Exactly.
And I don't know, I admire that, even if like some of the game I haven't played all the games. I mean, I played the first Dark Souls and a little bit of the second. I haven't played Dark Souls 3. That's about it.
I don't really like Dark Souls 2, but I mean, it's like it's still a, you know, I'd still give it like a 7 or 8 out of 10. It's still like a quality game, but I mean, it is like my least favorite one, I will say. I even like Demon Souls more than Dark Souls 2. But Dark Souls 3 is okay. I just like, you know, it. Oh man, I like the original From Software titles more than the sequels to those titles so far, anyway.
Well, it's like they created almost a genre on their own.
Yeah.
Like going into the games, like a lot of the stuff is familiar. Like it's like an action RPG, right? But so much more.
It's like, you know, it's a little more. Once you really get into it, you kind of find the appeal, the nuance, the lack. It's almost the absence of certain things that makes it so interesting. It's like, you know, dang, I'm not getting answers thrown at me. I'm not getting my hand held. I'm not like, you know, feeling like an invincible, you know, killing machine when I go through this game, like I do for 90% of the material I consume, as far as like the average gamer is concerned.
100%.
So it's like, you know, it's just something to.
I don't know, that ambiguity and the mystery invites you to like explore it,
and it also allows you to interpret it however you want.
Yes,
and I think that's a
it's
pretty
like
big
book
deal.
Kind of, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You get to build your own kind of. even though it's more visual, so you don't get to like imagine it
exactly.
totally.
But you're building your own
perception of it
story
weighs
or
on it,
meaning or like experience with it. Like everyone has games like in that series that they think are more difficult than others, and that's always subjective and it's always changing. I would tell you that Bloodborne and Dark Souls and Sekiro are the easy ones, but that's not true. They're just the ones that I'm good at. And other people are better at the other ones. Like, I mean, my roommate is better at Dark Souls 3 than I am, absolutely. But he will not play Sekiro. He won't do it.
That's
So,
wow.
Yeah.
I love the fact that hard games are brought back. Between them and like some indie developers, I really think that's where the credit lies for that. And I think that's necessary, man, because in a lot of ways, even outside of entertainment and all that, we just don't challenge ourselves very much. Everything's just getting easier and easier and more convenient and more convenient. And there's something about that feeling when you finally crack the code on something, your brain's just like, like that was good. I needed that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like exercise.
exactly.
Your brain just hit the gym real quick, and you're like,
Well, like you were saying, you started Talos Principle.
Yeah.
That's one of those games for me. Like as you go through it, oh man, the the dopamine, like you're like a rat at the end of a maze. Every time you get that piece of cheese, I get so fucking amped. I'm like, oh, I beat it. And sometimes you break and you look at the solution, but when you learn the solution, sometimes you figure out like how some higher level mechanics work that maybe you were overlooking.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you learn.
Exactly.
Do it again.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, one thing that I think that, unfortunately, the generations of people who haven't really experienced video games to the degree that we have don't understand, unfortunately, that the learning is the fun.
Yeah, man. True.
No, god damn it. Yeah, you're so right. I've tried to show like family members like that don't game or like my parents. Yeah. And like because my dad got into VR. Right. And like he started exploring things and like getting into it. But he tried to pick up some like console games too, or like playing with the controller, and it's a little more abstracted. Yeah. Like in VR, it's more natural. Like it's I think it's easier for non-gamers to pick up in most circumstances.
You're moving your head around and you're looking around and touching things physically and reaching out and interacting with them like a person does. Yeah,
as long as you set the rules correctly for the people or for people in the right way, I feel like most people adapt to it more naturally. But getting into games like they get frustrated with the controls or like figuring things out. It's like, no, that is the appeal. Like learning and picking up the skills and like improving. I mean, that's what we do as gamers. Like that's
you look at it, you pick it up, you mess with it, and you learn it and you master it. And that's something that certain games are. That's just why we all like the games that we like. Is because we like learning and mastering those types of systems. It's why I like games like Dark Souls or Cuphead or Hollow Knight or like Monster Hunter or Smash Bros or exactly like fighting games like Tekken 7 and,
those are the ultimate with like dude, if you master one character in Tekken, you spent so many hours on that journey for that one character, and now you got 35 more to go.
35 more. Yep.
And they've been building on that for 20 years. Like a lot of these characters are legacy characters, I love that kind of stuff. And you can't find that kind of mental I don't even know what the word is, fulfillment, I guess, through very many different mediums. And it's hard. Yeah. You know what I mean?
What's interesting is that kind of goes back to our discussion on the when we were talking about Cyberpunk, the grind and what they have to put in to make sure that the game is a complete product, and not even in this facet, not on the side of bugs and debugging and making sure that their systems work with everything behind the curtain, but what we as gamers and the meta of competitive games and how people adapt to these certain strategies and stuff, and how all of that is kind of organic for certain types of games like fighting games or MOBA games or Overwatch or League of Legends or whatever. And that's huge. I mean, it's like, as far as that interactivity, and it creates its own communities and its own, like, you have people that are buying Overwatch teams for like, millions of dollars and stuff like that. That's and crazy. It's just where we are, and it's awesome to be a part of.
Well, it's so funny that like esports has really become a thing where it's a marketable like enterprise. Like the company I work for sponsors an esports team, and like
that's pretty cool.
Like they're about it, and like so that validates the market value, and like the I don't know, like people like to watch people that are good at things, whatever it is, if it's a sport or I don't know, like everything.
Yeah, poker.
We appreciate mastery, man.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's the thing. It's just becoming a bigger and bigger thing, and the technology is becoming more and more capable, and people are, getting more and more creative with it too.
Video gaming just became the biggest entertainment industry by capita.
As it should.
Or like by money, I don't know.
They've been projecting that for
metric,
decades.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
they knew
that's
coming.
been a long time coming
It's just
for
like
sure.
overtook Hollywood, and like movies. Like they made video games made more money last year than Hollywood did.
Hollywood
like,
been fucking
like
up.
movies. I don't know,
Hollywood been fucking.
Hollywood been fucking up. Disney's
Yeah.
the only one who's been making money.
Yeah. Well, Disney's been buying everybody, and been like, well,
Yeah.
let's just make this all ours, and like
Universal and Warner Bros. Are like, what the hell are we doing with our lives?
Just keep making Arkham games, Warner.
Just stop.
Keep making Arkham games.
Just get your shit together with DC. It's not that hard.
Yeah,
No,
that's
right? God
movies.
damn it! Like, get it together. Like, you've had so many shots to get it right, and they keep fucking it up. Like,
I'm telling you, they gotta let Netflix do it, because Netflix made good Marvel shows, and then Disney was like, we're gonna take our shit back now and do our own thing.
Yep.
So DC, just go over there. They'll do it. They'll fucking make your shit better, and we'll all get to watch it and not have to go to the theater, and you'll still get yours.
It's just like, why would you make $1 billion when you can make $2 billion?
Well, Disney wants to make like $7 billion.
Well, I mean,
so
that's
it's
true.
Like,
Yeah.
You gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta bow to the mouse.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I thought I would see The Lion King. I thought I would see Aladdin. I thought I would see Frozen 2. I thought I would see Rise of Skywalker. I didn't watch any of those movies.
Yeah.
I didn't watch. Did I see a single Disney movie this year?
Oh yeah.
I don't think I did. Oh no. Yeah, Avengers. Yeah.
I feel like I still can't call those Disney movies. It's just Disney gets the money for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Marvel.
They're on
movies.
Disney Plus.
Right.
That's true.
That's it.
So was the old X-Men show.
The Simpsons.
Disney had nothing to do with that.
The Simpsons is owned by Disney now. That's funny to think about.
They're rebranding Fox or 20th Century Fox to just 20th Century.
20th Century.
Huh?
Yeah. Which actually is a reversal because I don't know if you guys remember, but back in 1936, Fox took over 20th Century Studios. It became 20th Century Fox. Or was it 1938? I don't know. I saw it on the internet.
The 20th Century Fox, man. They're back in 1938.
Yeah. But yeah, Disney is just undoing the Fox thing in 20th Century.
That's a
20th
trip.
By Disney. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna. Yeah, there'll be like another title card after that for Disney.
Or Mickey Mouse ears or something in the logo or whatever.
I hope they just have like when it fades out, just like, on the lights. Yep. Right there.
What South Park? Do I own that? Not yet, sir.
It's the bear. Still pissed off about the bear. God damn it.
Oh man.
I love South Park so much.
You know, there was one game that did not get any flack for crunch time, and that was a game that got delayed into 2020, and that was Animal Crossing: New Horizons.
Yeah.
I kind of just yanked the topic away there, but I'm not apologizing.
Well, hey, bring us back on course. Let's yeah.
So, okay. So, I don't think the game's gonna get delayed again. I think it's coming out March 20th.
If they do
I
it
hope
this
not.
late,
If they delay
dude,
it,
that'd
yeah.
be like cool and unusual.
That would be
I mean, they
rough.
kind of did it that early for Final Fantasy, so I feel bad for you. That's kind of it's kind of a dick.
You're not lying at all.
But they don't. I mean, if they wait any longer, it's like
like, whoa, dude, like you better rip that Band-Aid off quick.
Dude,
but I don't think
Animal
again
Crossing,
exactly. Well, I mean, it's like it's gonna be. No matter, even if it's delayed, like, to the end of the year or even next year, that game will last me years.
Yeah.
And
But
just
will you last until that delay is over?
no, not a chance.
Yeah.
But no, it's gonna last a while. And the last game, New Leaf on 3DS, has lasted this long for me. I've still been playing it recently, and I did have a story for you guys that I wanted to tell you. I had a list of goals that I had set up on my 3DS for New Leaf before the new game comes out. And
like in-game goals, like things you want to do, like in the new one.
Exactly. Well, I mean, things I want to do in the one that I was still playing.
Okay.
There were still things I had not yet.
Bucket
done.
list.
Exactly.
Bucket list before you
Little
retire.
bucket list to figure out everything, and it's you can have 4 characters in that game, and they can all have their own houses, and each of the houses can have a certain amount of rooms. So I was like figuring out what I wanted the outside and inside of each of the houses to look like, and customize the furniture, make sure I had all the right carpet and wallpaper and stuff. So I made a list of everything that I would need. And I've been working on that for, years, to be frank. I haven't really been that consistent, but I finally started to get back to it over the past year or two. And, started playing, not daily, but like a few times every week, and play, a few minutes here and there. And I eventually got to the point where I was like, okay, well, it's getting down to the wire. The game's only a couple months away. So I went onto Reddit, and I went to the subreddit for Animal Crossing New Leaf, and I posted like, hey, I need help. I have a bunch of money. I have like millions and millions of bells, but I need all these items. And, some people posted, and they helped out with some pieces of furniture, with some other stuff, because there was other rooms that I could fill outside of the 4 houses in a museum exhibit, and they helped with that. But eventually there was this post that had showed up, and it was like a giveaway of some sort where some Reddit user was like, okay, well, I'm giving away 20 million bells of in-game currency. That's what they're called, as bells, not dollars or pounds or anything. I'm giving away 5 full furniture sets of whatever type of furniture set you want. I'm giving 10 items away of whatever you want, and a couple of extra prizes. And that was for one winner who would win in this like raffle sort of deal, and then there would be 3 runner-up prizes where you'd win a fraction of that basically. And all you had to do was comment on that post what your native town fruit is. Every time you start a new file, your town is going to have some trees that are going to be growing fruit on it. The native fruit in your town can be either apples or cherries or whatever. So all you do is you just got to post once. You post more than once, you're disqualified. And like hundreds of people posted on this thing, and I posted on it and kind of didn't really think about it, and went about the rest of my weekend. And I went back to my Reddit a couple days later, and I won that main prize.
All the billions.
I got all of that. Well, I mean, I told them, I was like, I don't really need the money. Like, I've got 80 million in my account, and I
could
don't.
have had 100 million.
I mean, I had 100 and I spent 20. But
that's
now,
a trip.
Yeah, so it's like I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I had won. Like, so many people had entered into that, and I had almost not checked in time. Like, she was about to give the prize away to someone else because I didn't check in time almost, but I made it back in time, and I was like, oh, thank God. Nice. And she gave me all the items, so I basically met all my goals. I only have like a couple more things, like really small things that I got to do, and I have everything done in that town that was... You put like years and years into a single video game, and it's like, now I kind of feel like I understand how people who played like World of Warcraft feel, or with their accounts and how much they invest in that kind of stuff. And it's like, gosh.
Well, dude, it was weird. So when Altspace was like about to get canceled, or like they were gonna close down, that was the weirdest feeling. Like a virtual space that like I'd been to and spent so much time in. Like, it just felt like there was a permanence to it, or there was an expectation of continuity, like the fact that was going away. It was like I had never felt that feeling before of having something like shut down on me, especially something that's surreal, but it's weird, like kind of like letting go, or like saying goodbye to like moving on from a thing. But Altspace still continues on to this day in pretty much the same form, but like it was weird.
Like a lesser degree in the Wave, the Moulin Rouge experience, Tokyo Monster, when we went to go check it out, it was gone. We were like,
oh my God,
oh no, where is it? You know what I mean?
Totally
expected it to be there because it always was. And
Exactly. Well, I mean,
it's a place to give like memories of. You know what I mean? That's the crazy thing about VR.
Yeah.
You have video game memories, right? But in VR, like I was at that place. You know what I mean? I remember the feeling of when you first had me go on the platform and we just cruised into the main area like that.
Yeah.
Bro,
so wild.
Crazy.
So
I was standing right there, and it felt like the whole fucking room was non-existent. You know what I mean?
And just all the exhibits, like all the different like musical toys we could play with, man.
I
gotta go back there so bad.
I
gotta message their support and be like, yo, what's the deal? Tell me what's happening.
What's good?
I gotta know. I just gotta know. It's a licensing thing, okay? Whatever. I'll give you money. Let me give you $20. Like, how much do I have to pay to have that thing? Like, just download it on my hard drive and play it back.
Please.
I would pay them hard money to like have that as an accessible experience because I want to show that to everybody that I put in VR.
Yeah,
like it's one of my favorite things.
Yeah,
and
the album's incredible too. That was the other part about it. That's one of my favorite albums, and that's how I got to first experience it.
Yeah,
that's never gonna be matched.
Yeah,
that's never gonna be matched, man. That shows you that you're gonna have. There's room for so many just profound experiences, man, that you couldn't have otherwise in VR. I love it so fucking much.
Well, I mean, VR is that next step. It's like, you know, you have this sense of place that you could have in regular video games, like, you know, your first time exploring Skyrim or like, you know, even Hyrule and Breath of the Wild or Ocarina of Time back in the day. And, you know, you really you connect with these virtual places that never were really a thing. But VR, it's like you guys say, it's that next step. It's like it's not just a place that you saw, it's a place that you were in.
Yeah, you remember it.
Exactly.
Like it's not just like, oh yeah, like building a mental map and like in video games, it feels so different in VR.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
It's like I don't know. Cause
another level.
You have that like that memory of like when you play through like a competitive shooter map, like in a FPS game. You know, like you go back into it and like you know, like you build the building blocks of that whole level,
or trying to like memorize the overworld of Dark Souls and
all that,
and everything.
yeah. But in VR, like it's a different perspective, and it's a I don't know, like it's a totally different perspective. Like the way like my brain interprets it is not just like as like a pictorial map. It's like it's a memory. It's like I have like an actual like location or like compass that I needed to try and follow.
It's gonna be really interesting to see how developers in the next few years like kind of thematically are able to master like the appeal of virtual reality so that they're able to like kind of I don't know, immerse you in ways that like, you know, it's like comparing 2D gaming to 3D gaming. Imagine what VR like at its limit 10 years from now is gonna be like.
I mean, like we're I feel like we're just getting to the point now where it's like we're past just making like, you know, regular video games in VR. You know, like people are starting to understand that we've got the fundamentals covered. You know, like here's the kind of the rules of VR. You know, like you can't be too crazy with locomotion because people can get sick. And like to make VR like interactive, you know, like what do you got to do cool stuff with your hands and like, you know, the environment. There's so many possibilities. But it's like you got to play with it. But there's like you just gotta know where those limits are to where like, you know,
and also how to maximize not just what the limits are, right? But how to maximize the interaction with your brain with it in the sense of like like for instance, I had dreams about Echo Arena. Right? Like I had dreams about, it's like a sport. I don't know, for those who don't know, it's like a zero gravity sport where you throw a disc and it goes 3-on-3. And there's a lot like it's really like playing a sport, and I had dreams about that. Not only that, my hand-eye coordination started improving, and my reflexes for playing Thrill of the Fight are out of control compared to before playing Thrill of the Fight, man. Like that's a real life change. It's not just, I know video games with your mental, your hand, you know, you're thinking quickly, but now it's like my actual being is different from experiencing this game. Like, to me, that's It's an experience. How do you say it's an artificial experience? It's an experience. You know what I mean?
You get that visual stimulus and physical responses, like an auditory and visual at least, and physical in terms of haptic feedback. You know, like nobody's actually punching back at you.
Exactly.
But like you get that kind of like positive or negative reward. You know, like by winning or losing in a fight.
And the design is like they do a good job of conveying to you through the rumble, the audio, and the visuals, like how whether or not your hit was successful, whether or not they guarded it, whether or not they dodged it, whether or not you got a good hit or a light hit or a really good hit.
Yeah.
They do that with like the color of the blowback on, like, you know, when your glove hits their skin, it's like there's either a light green or a yellow or a orange, or like the more intense it is, the better a hit it was. And it's like they just do a really good job of kind of conveying that, and like, you know, the graphics and visuals and like the when you get that last punch in and you see him fall to the ground, you're just it's so rewarding.
Well, all that getting punched and getting rocked in that game and it's crazy too, because like the screen you start seeing double.
Exactly.
And especially when you're tired, right?
And you get the ringing in your ears and everything, so it's like,
And say you're tired, you throw a punch, you start seeing double, like you stumble a little bit because your visual point of reference is like, shit.
You do take it as a moment of like, okay, well, I can't do anything because I can't see him, so I have to take some time to, you know, take a breath or whatever anyway, because I'm already putting my energy into this and I'm already tired, and I can't see, so I can't successfully guard or hit right now. So you know, you might as well have gotten hit in as far as the gameplay effect it had on you. So it's really good. Thrill of the fight. I cannot believe that game. I cannot believe that game is $10. Like
best $10 you could ever spend on a video game.
I just spent $10 at Wendy's.
Yeah.
And Thrill of the Fight's gonna help you undo that Wendy's, bro.
Exactly. So it's wild. I think VR is just awesome. So
it's gonna be fun to watch what they do with it, man.
Yeah.
What are well, I mean, I guess apart from Half-Life, are there any big VR games that are slated to come out this year?
What's up with that Medal of Honor, son?
Well, yeah, we got Medal of Honor, Lone Echo 2.
Really?
I think Lone Echo 2 is slated for the end of this year. I'm not sure.
That's gonna be dope.
But yeah, we've got the Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor.
What else? But fun. Yeah, those.
Hopefully,
are the big ones.
Valve announces Left 4 Dead VR.
That's been interesting.
I mean, I still can't believe we're getting Half-Life.
Oh, I can.
I can. I can't believe it.
I'm ready. I mean,
what else could it have been?
Yeah, I mean, they asked themselves the same thing.
What else would have got people excited and not made them be like, oh, well, what about Half-Life other than Half-Life? Because you know anything Valve announced before Half-Life 3 or something Half-Life related was going to get that.
About fucking time, and they're going to do it, and it's going to happen, and I'm excited, man. It's already in my library. I'm just like ready.
It's like, let's go.
It's just like, it's 2 months-ish away. 2.5 months at most right now.
Yeah, we're coming up on it.
Yeah,
absolutely. I did get further in Half-Life. I went back to it. So there was that tentacle monster. I defeated it.
Nice, where you got to go through the levels with the grenades and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That one's tough.
Yeah, no, I was stuck on that for a little while. I couldn't remember exactly what it was that I figured out. Oh yeah, so there was a part where there was a fan and you had to turn it on and whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that fan would make it so I could throw my grenade up to the top and, like, you know, explode all the wood and then jump up there and go into that vent. And that was what I needed in order to get all of the switches turned on so I could blast the shit out of that tentacle monster.
Yeah.
So I did get past that, and then I got stuck somewhere else. So
that's dude. But if you get past that, if you can get past that monster, that's honestly one of the hardest parts in the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Opinion.
I agree. It took me some tries. It took me some dedication and persistence and everything. And I mean, it controls so much differently from Halo Reach, because those are the only two first-person shooters that I'm playing on computer right now.
Yeah.
But very excited for Combat Evolved, man. I love Halo Reach.
Flight testing next week, dude. You got to find a way to sign up. I don't know where the email or like the link is to like sign up.
I'll look into it. Yeah,
look into getting into the flight test, because they'll send you like a link and you just install it and you flight test it, and they'll just test certain scenarios or like certain missions. Just be like, this is the focus of the flight test, and like known issues, and just have at it. Try it out. Let us know what you think.
Have they adjusted the audio at all in Reach yet?
I don't think so. Not yet.
I'm holding off,
waiting.
man. I was like, this is just...
It's tough.
Yeah, somebody's like an audio-oriented person. No, it's just I'm listening to it through like the wall. Like, it sounds like this to me. It's crazy. And it sucks. It looks great visually.
It really visually is on point. I totally agree. There was a couple, like, I don't really have like really impressive speakers or anything. I'm just using the speakers that come with my monitor right now. But I mean, there were a couple moments where I had the volume all the way up, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't like that."
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, no, it gets pretty rough a couple of times in the campaign. So, I mean, it's not as bad in multiplayer, but with the campaign, you have like a couple of spaceships taking off here and there, and you're just like, oh, fuck, that's not cool.
Yeah, fix it. Hopefully they do. I'm sure they will, because it's been an issue a lot of people talk about. And there's no excuse for it, to be honest.
Well, I mean, it's just like, with the fact that with the new generation and Halo Infinite just around the corner and everything, it's like, oh, wow, they're just getting the Master Chief Collection on computer, so they're in it for the long haul. So
no, that's a good point. Yeah, it really has been several years since it came out on like Xbox now.
And even then, back when it initially came out on Xbox One, it was
pretty rough.
A dumpster fire from what I've heard. You know, like waiting for matches and like, you know, just a whole
I remember hearing all sorts of technical issues. No, but I think it's a good time for it to come to PC. They're finished, I feel like, you know, getting it on consoles, and it's at a good place. And it's about time, you know, like you get all of the Halo games on PC.
Yeah,
I don't think they're doing 5 still though.
That's
weird. They're putting 5 out there.
I don't mind.
Whatever. Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think part of the reason 5 was, I think the technology holding it back. I know when I played it, you could see like the filtering between the depth of field and what was near. You could see the tricks they were pulling to make it run. And all I could do was visualize, be like, if they had the horsepower to run this would be pretty cool. I do want to see what that game's like, given
if it did come out on PC and it became part of the Master Chief Collection, I would be cool with that. And
that's how it should be. Yeah,
I think that's how it should be. No one's buying Halo 5 again.
No, hell no.
No,
make it part of it's the collection though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's the Master Chief Collection, you should have all of the games so far in it. It's weird. Like if they release a Metroid collection, it's like you get 1 and 2. You'd be like,
well, I mean, that's the thing.
Fuck off. Where's 3? Like, what the hell? What is this?
Halo Infinite's going to be separate for sure.
Oh, it should be. That's the new thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as you saying you got the collection of everything Halo so far, and it's already been released in a couple years ago, like you said. I mean,
Halo 5 was like what 2014, 2015.
I don't even remember.
Didn't they release pretty close though? Because at the time it was almost as if like we were describing Halo Infinite's relationship to this Master Chief Collection.
Halo 4 was 2012. It was definitely 2012 for Halo 4.
I mean Halo 5 though.
Halo 5
in relation to the Master Chief Collection.
Oh yeah, you're right. I think those were both pretty close. They were like the early era of the Xbox One.
Yeah, so I feel like Infinite would have the same relationship, only 5 should be grouped in the PC collection.
Yeah.
I don't know about on the console because they already have the separate, but on PC, they should all come together.
I agree.
But we'll see, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's coming together all in general. Hopefully they'll I don't know if they'll get 5, but they're getting the rest of them at least. I don't know.
You don't need 5.
Yeah, I feel like I can live without it. I just need 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Just give me 1, 2, and 3. We've already got Reach.
We got Reach.
And then Infinite, we know is coming.
Yep.
And they're giving you 4.
Yeah, I know, and we'll take 4.
We'll take it, but no rush.
6 out of 7 ain't bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not. So I wonder, are they just gonna erase 5 from like the canon? Not effectively, but is it gonna have any bearing on Infinite? I wonder.
I don't know.
If they're not including the collection, I mean, how much do you want people to remember it? You know what I mean? Or how much are you even paying credence to it? I don't know.
I guess, I mean, okay, so I think there's a lot that needs to be done to kind of... I don't think it's as big of, oh shit, we really gotta, we really screwed the pooch and we really gotta pick things back up in the same way it was for Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. I don't think it's that bad, but I do think they really have to. I think the big deciding benefactor is going to be whether or not they put all their eggs in the Cortana as the villain basket. Because I mean, I don't know. You guys know how Halo 5 ended, right? With her doing that whole thing.
Yeah.
I feel like if
She was
they
getting old, man.
yeah.
Old and obsolete.
The wall's undefeated. I feel like if
Oh shit.
I feel like if you were gonna do that and you stick with it, I don't know. I feel like Cortana's gotta, be trumped by like a bigger threat, or like, some bigger threat makes her realize, oh shit, all right, Master Chief, I see you, and just like, make it feel like the original trilogy. Just kind of step back a bit. Like, it's okay to do your own thing, 343, but at the same time, it's like, realize what people like about Halo and at least pay homage to that and respect that.
What if Cortana assumes control of a Halo ring? What if that's like why they're back on? Because I mean, what's the reason now? Like the Covenant's not a problem, right? Like,
well, some of the Covenant is not a problem.
well, like to the point it was the galactic force it was, and everything. They're all together and shit. You know what I mean? All the different races.
Yeah.
But that would be kind of cool if see somehow, I don't know, because you know how in the first one where you walk in and it's the mission where the little orb, I forget what they call them, he's just buzzing around.
Guilty Spark.
Yeah. 343 Guilty Spark. Thank you. Something like that, but it's Cortana is a way more intelligent, controlling everything and devious, but also losing her mind because she's an agent AI. I think there's ways they could go with it, but they better be careful.
I mean, I do think personally that Cortana and Master Chief is like a, they're a team.
Yeah.
They
Pippin
work
and Jordan,
together.
bro. Pippin and Jordan. A duo. Joker, Batman now, I guess, if they're adversaries.
Exactly.
Link Navi.
Exactly.
Listen!
Yeah. Hey, listen, don't fuck up Halo anymore, okay?
I don't think Cortana's going anywhere, though. I mean, they freaking named their virtual assistant Cortana.
That's true.
Like, they love Cortana.
It's got
Well,
some
I mean,
staying power.
Yeah.
People love Halo.
Job security right there.
And that's another thing is the multiplayer. It needs to be Halo again. Stop trying to copy Call of Duty like you did with Halo 4 and 5. It's
Agreed.
embarrassing. I am not a Call of Duty fan. I am a Halo fan.
Right?
Halo is the one that started this whole craze of first-person or it didn't start it,
Well,
but
I mean,
it's the one that did it the biggest.
What-
that showed like
What did start it was like Quake.
Yeah.
it was like the Counter-Strike back in the day too, like Quake.
Yeah.
Doom, Counter-Strike, Quake. I mean, there was it kind of all came in a line, and like it all started iterating. But on console, Halo was the first one to like really bring the multiplayer shooter to that level after GoldenEye.
Yeah, GoldenEye was the like kind of the blueprint, I guess.
Well, and then
initially.
Halo 2 with Xbox Live, like that was fucking game changer.
I mean, Halo 1 brought the two joysticks, one to move and one to actually look around, whereas GoldenEye, you had to stay still and hold the R button, and then you would use the same joystick that you had been moving around with until you pressed the R button down, so you couldn't aim and move at the same time, and, Halo kind of changed that. It was like, fuck that shit.
That shit messed me up. At first, I was like, I'm so dizzy. That was a trip, but it was such an ingenious move.
I mean, that was a very, very, very important move. Like, that shaped, console and, controller and, just game design in general for the next, 20 years after that. So pretty wild stuff. I think Halo 1 is one of the best fucking games ever. I love Halo.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I love Halo.
Yeah.
Between the pistol and the sniper rifle too, the zooming in, blasting stuff.
Dude, pistol.
Oh yeah, that pistol was.
If I had to choose between a sniper and pistol, I'd choose the pistol.
Yeah, the pistol was way too overpowered.
It
dude.
was
so OP.
It was
Please
the
learn
death
Bungie.
machine.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really hope. Well, okay, so once they do fix the sound, hit me up. We're gonna have to get some squad in on Halo Reach. See if you can redeem yourself from Christmas a couple years back.
Probably not happening, but we can play through the campaign.
Yeah,
fucker.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We might hop in. Maybe I'll secretly practice my pistol. A little montage action. Get good real quick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
God, I'd love some Halo in VR.
Ooh, well, okay.
Okay, let's.
Okay.
Whoa!
You gotta slow down because there's I can't say anything yet.
But you're saying something.
Well, but
Oh, I can't, you guys.
okay. So
Like, I'm just feeling like I'm being set up for more disappointment than I already feel, because this is awesome.
This is the announcement of Halo VR. It's coming
Well-
out tomorrow night. Newsflash, it just got delayed to 2024.
nothing official, but
Just
I've there was literally a modder the other day who posted some stuff. It might have been the same guy who did the Alien Isolation VR mod, and he might have posted
Stop
a
it.
shot of him with like a Halo pistol, just like in first person view, just like, oh cool, oh I got that working.
Oh,
So I don't know. I gotta double check. I can't remember if it was the modder for that or something else, but I want to say it was the Alien Isolation guy.
Oh my gosh.
Which is highly regarded as like one of the best like independent VR ports. Like just a modder like made it work.
Which
you
I
know?
refuse to try.
Yeah,
There
me
is
too.
no
me too.
fucking way I'm
Not gonna
doing
do
that.
it. I trust everybody.
Yeah.
I trust everybody that it's really good
No
and
way.
scary. I'm not gonna. I've been watching the Alien movies recently.
I used to have nightmares about
Yeah.
xenomorphs when I was a kid.
Not gonna do
There's
it.
no way.
Not gonna do it.
But it's awesome he did it.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Don't
I know.
play with me.
I'm
bro.
not playing with you. I was just saying. I saw it. I saw it was a thing. No promises, but I hope for good things. So no, maybe we'll leave it on that. Let's leave it on some speculation. It's a lot of good stuff still coming. 2020 is gonna be a crazy year, man. I mean,
Yeah,
we've got so
definitely.
many good stuff. I mean, it's gotten delayed, but it's all good. It's all good, man. I can wait. I've got plenty of stuff to keep me busy until September.
This is true.
Right.
Hypothetical for you.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, Halo VR dropping the same day. What are you doing?
Cyberpunk.
first?
Honestly,
Ah!
Cyberpunk. I mean,
I feel like I might jump.
no, I hear you. But I would start with Cyberpunk, and then like I would play Cyberpunk until I needed to eat food, and then I would eat food, and then be like, you know what? Let me check out some Halo VR, and then play Halo VR until I got tired, and then I'd go back into Cyberpunk. And
I feel like
you cycle it.
I don't know. I feel like I'd be
That's
able
how
to
I would
eat
do
a
it.
little easier while playing Cyberpunk if I were like, just doing some like exploration, some light
Yeah.
casual gameplay. I could, snack on something while I'm
Yeah.
playing that and then get into some Halo and then I get hungry
Exactly.
again, go
Yeah.
back to Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Kind of depends on what everyone else is doing, I guess, because if Halo VR is multiplayer, if you guys are online, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man.
You
The
can
future
teabag
holds.
your homies for real, like, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I'll be
mean,
good and I'll get those pistol kills in VR. I mean, that's the thing, man. You might have a better chance against me if you were in VR.
Equalizer. And think about
That's
this:
what
in
I'm talking
Halo, you're like around the corner.
Unless it takes your height into account, in which case you're a bigger target.
You should be 8 feet tall no matter
It's
what.
like that
You're a
in
Spartan.
Pavlov.
I guess that's
yeah.
true.
You're a Spartan.
Yeah.
Stand tall, Spartan. Oh man, I think I would do Halo first.
If
I would
you
at least have to get the silent cartographer and fly in to the beach. I have. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Just wait, dude. Just wait. You won't have to choose.
This day
You
has
don't
been
have to
mind
choose,
blowing in a
okay?
lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry I had to bring... Adam didn't know about Cyberpunk or Final
Been
Fantasy getting
working a
delayed.
lot.
He didn't know. And I came into work today, and I got there before you, and you came in, and I was like, gosh, I forget how it went, but I mean...
Hey,
Sounds like
hey,
a very
so
good
did you
news.
hear? I was like, about what? You're like, you don't know?
I didn't want to send a text.
About what?
Yeah.
It would have
How
felt
was
rude.
the dark
I just
about
felt
this?
bad. I didn't want to be like the bearer of bad news. It's like,
Bro, I watch YouTube every day. I was on my elliptical today for an hour and 20 minutes watching YouTube.
Yeah.
Not one fucking video about it. I ain't see nothing. I got the IGN app on my phone, so I'll be just cruising through that. When did they announce this shit?
The same day they announced Byleth as
Yeah.
a Smash Bros. Character. It was Thursday. It was the 16th.
that's about right.
It's because I know why. Aside from working, I told you about the baseball scandal and all that. Like, my mind got blown hearing about that, and I was just like,
Yeah, that'll do it.
yeah. For those who don't
I
follow
hear you.
sports, but there's a huge scandal going with the Houston Astros. Players wearing like remote buzzers to get pitch signals. It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
They're called the worst cheating scandal in sports history. So that definitely had my attention. And the Aaron Hernandez documentary came out on Netflix.
yeah, I heard
So
about
I was
that,
in
yeah.
that too. So it kind of makes sense now that I didn't.
Yeah.
hear this.
Yeah, busy
Yeah.
news week. Busy news
Yeah.
week.
No, I think I don't remember what day Final Fantasy and Avengers got delayed. I think that was earlier, like Tuesday or Monday or something.
Terrible.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes. It's gonna be a good year, though. We still got a lot to look
remember,
forward to.
like at this
That's
time
not even terrible. It's
last
probably
year,
Yeah.
we thought February of 2019 was gonna be like awesome. Because I mean, at first it was like Anthem, Metro Exodus.
Yeah.
Gosh, what else?
fucking.
There was a couple other games.
Days Gone was supposed to come out.
Days
then,
Gone
too.
was gonna be February.
Yeah,
that's
and that
right.
was just kind of meh from what I heard.
And then, gosh, maybe it was Ghost Recon or no, Breakpoint came out in October. There was a fourth game. There definitely was. Oh, it was Crackdown 3.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! That shit exists. Oh wow!
Oh yeah.
Good lord, Terry Crews.
But well, I mean,
Terry
that's the
Crews.
thing. It was those games weren't delayed. They just all sucked.
Yeah. That's the truth. That is the truth.
Yeah, so the delays will help us avoid that.
Days Gone got delayed to like April or May or whatever. And Metro Exodus, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't the dumpster fires that Anthem and Crackdown were.
Yeah.
It just was like mediocre.
Alright,
yeah, it wasn't like bad. It was just like meh, whatever.
Yeah.
It was the first game to get that Epic Games exclusivity on computer.
That was the what I remember about it. It was like
kinda,
they did a bait and switch.
Yeah, that kind of gave them a red X on their whole deal, because I mean they had started accepting pre-orders for Steam and everything.
That was the issue. Yeah.
Oh man, this Epic Games Store is killing. I want to play Control so bad. And I keep forgetting it exists because I don't have the Epic Games Store.
And I'm waiting until I get an
on
RTX
Games Pass?
card to even worry about it.
But I still, it's just weird that game's out there and it's a game that I know I'm highly intrigued by, but because it's on a platform that I've never even had.
Right.
I don't see it, so it's just like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Isn't it on Xbox Game Pass, or is it on? Well, actually,
I don't think so.
They don't have it on the PC Game Pass because it's the Epic Store exclusive.
Yeah.
At least until the year. For a year, it's a year-long exclusive.
Yeah.
And it's gonna come out on the other ones.
No, I think it is just Xbox One. But yeah, no, that's it's just fun times that we're in. I mean, at least Cyberpunk and Last of Us and Final Fantasy are not going to be like dumpster fires, as far as we know. At least there's going to be like quality.
They'll have fewer excuses.
Yeah.
And honestly, we've got enough. I feel like now it staggers things out a little bit so we can enjoy things at a better pace.
It was crowded.
It was crowded.
I was going to be
overwhelmed.
I wonder if that has anything to do with it too. I wonder if there's anything where they're like, dude, like we're up against Animal Crossing your Final Fantasy. Not to say we won't hang. But we'll probably do better with a little bit of breathing room.
They're gonna do better without Final Fantasy coming out a week beforehand. It was a week difference between those delay announcements, like in as far as when they would have come out. And the week before Final Fantasy, Resident Evil 3 remake. So it would have been Resident Evil 3 one Friday, Final Fantasy 7 the next Friday, and then Cyberpunk the following.
No thanks.
Jeez.
Slow down.
Yeah.
I don't have that much time.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot. And speaking of like just waiting and delays, man, like how long? This is probably the most heartbreaking out of the two, or out of the delays of the two, is probably Final Fantasy for me, just because of how long people have been asking for this.
Oh yeah.
Literally since that tech demo for PS3 appeared, people were asking for it before that, but they thought they were getting it then.
The game
that was 15 years ago.
Better than Advent Children.
Seriously.
That's like
seriously does.
That's exciting, you know? It's like I'm not a real Final Fantasy fan, but I watched that movie a lot when I was a kid. Yeah. So, you know, there's a part of me that sees this and I'm like, dang, I want it. But I kind of want to wait until the entire game is out on PC, and if it's like a trilogy or 4-part series, I just want to get all the games at once.
Oh, that's gonna be years.
Yeah, I'll wait.
I can't do it.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. Well, that's the thing. I've never played any Final Fantasy game all the way through, so the anticipation isn't really there for me.
Oh, I gosh, dude, I can't even describe. Like, I just lost days to the original. That's just reading script. It's crazy how different games are, man.
Yeah.
That's a whole different experience. I felt it was like half reading a book playing that game. You know what I mean? Or any RPG back in the day.
Oh, definitely.
In a way, it'd be kind of cool. I mean, it's not gonna happen, but to find a way to bring something like that back where you can hybridize two kind of mediums like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you still got your indie games that actually do a pretty good job of balancing, like Animal Crossing. You read a lot.
What about the new one? You don't know. You don't know.
I feel safe in assuming. I feel pretty safe in assuming. We'll see. But I mean, actually, I don't know. They did have voice acting in that trailer at the beginning. No,
it's Nintendo though. There was voice acting in Zelda for like 3 seconds,
and it was horrible. I'd rather just not have had that voice acting.
Yeah.
Fucking just little laughs. I guess it gives it personality though.
Could
it
be
wouldn't
worse.
be Zelda without that, I guess, or Breath of the Wild without that.
You know what had good voice acting was Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Sekiro. And Dark Souls 2 and 3, to be honest. But I mean, all those From Software games had actually pretty good localization. The Japanese voice acting for Sekiro was awesome.
Nice.
So whenever I do play this game, do you recommend I play with English or Japanese? Going my first time through.
Do you... Okay, well, I'm going to answer that with a question. Do you... Well, I guess 2 questions. First off, do you care enough about the story? And second off, if you do, are you capable of reading subtitles quickly enough that it won't kill you?
Oh, okay, that's fair. I do really care about the story, and if the subtitles are unfairly paced, there's no way to go back and check it out.
The writing is concise and sharp, so it's not like they're going to give you a paragraph and only a couple seconds to read it. So it's reasonable. But, it depends on how, quick of a reader you are and how quick of a... I mean, obviously, that game's controls and everything and how it's designed is like it's meant to be more difficult for people that are used to Dark Souls and Bloodborne, where you're mashing the circle button to dodge. And I've probably said that a dozen times, but
I'm ready to find out what it's about. I want to know though, because I'll probably listen to it in English the first time. I don't know, just because I don't want to think too much. But I've been getting more into collecting the mangas where they have them now in the Japanese format, but it's written in English, so it's the hybrid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I will say the game is intended to be listened to in Japanese with the subtitles on.
Well, I found in animes or in some cases they emote way more to where this makes more sense than the English stuff. I feel like sometimes there's a disconnect between the voice actors on the dub side where they're trying to capture something that they weren't originating.
It takes place in Japan, in old Japan, historic Japan. So it's obviously not an accurate portrayal with all this crazy shit going on, but it feels authentic if you do go down that road. I did play it in Japanese first, but I play all these difficult games. I played Getting Over It this year. I can't believe I beat that. You guys.
I can't believe you even played it.
I can't believe I beat that. I am so happy.
That's a feat, man. That is a feat.
I am, damn. Cuphead was a feat as well, to be honest. I was really happy about that. We got to get some Cuphead in, man.
I'm down to get down because I want to play that DLC. Still haven't played that shit, man.
Yeah. I forgot there's DLC.
Yeah, they have a whole bunch of other shit we could do on there.
Yeah, we got to pull the trigger on some DLC.
Ready for a wallop.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, I think that's about it from us, isn't it?
I think so.
So, man, I don't know much I got to touch on, but I'm disappointed and excited. That disappointment will fade. I know it will. I'll be real grateful for the delay when I'm playing
We'll get through it. It's another year. More games. We got enough to keep us along. That's I feel like there's enough still to keep us playing.
My backlog is ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous. I probably actually need this.
It's only gonna get worse.
Seriously.
More games and more fun.
Yeah.
Which means it's only gonna get better.
Hell yeah.
So
better
it's all
and
good.
worse at the same time.
At the same time. That's the games industry.
That's how it goes.
Yep.
That's what it is, man. You get your anthems, and then you get your Death Strandings and Ace Combats, and fucking, I forget what your game of the years was. You guys had the same one. What was it?
It was Sekiro.
Oh, yeah, and you get your Sekiros.
Like it is.
You know?
Yes.
Good with the bad. Double-edged swords.
Yes.
And I'm just going to keep playing Skyrim.
Forever.
Scrim.
Forever.
All day, all night.
Yes.
Hey, bro, you might be the one that Stadia's for, because you might get a smart fridge. You might be hankering for a snack and some scrim.
Yeah, I mean, you never know when you're going to need both. But yeah.
Oh, shit.
Game Related Network 2020 delay cast.
Delay cast.
Beep,
We out. Hip hop for life still.
20
Lifetime hip hop.
Lifetime of hip hop.